Hello! Are we started?
We're starting.
Hey, good to see everybody.
Hey!
Welcome to the Big Weird Comedy Show. We
What's
are
up?
your hosts. My name is Casey James Salengo.
I'm Ryan Beck. This is Lily. She's going to be leaving soon because I scared her.
Ah, you got to scare dogs. Keep them on their toes, their paws.
And there.
Here's
It's
our
William
other
Winter.
host. Introduce yourself, Dad.
Hi, it's William Edward Winter. How is everybody?
We're great, buddy.
I'm feeling great. How you doing?
I'm good. Just peed. Feels good.
You look svelte. How much weight have you lost in the quarantine?
18 pounds.
18.
That's
18.
fucked up.
I want to lose another 10.
I've gained 45, and Ryan just fell down the stairs, I believe.
Sorry about that.
We're off to a hot start.
I dropped my phone. I dropped my wife's phone. I'm casting for my wife's phone right now.
Oh my gosh.
That's
I
dangerous.
know. My phone can't handle this, so I have to use her phone, which is much nicer. Everything about her is much nicer. So
I agree. I would have cut you out of my life long ago if it wasn't for Greg.
yeah, that's why I got her.
That's why I got her.
She's everybody's favorite. We started a podcast together, which everybody can find, Falling in Love with My Wife, on anywhere you get podcasts. But everyone has told me that she's much better. So, things are going well.
That's fun. What's the podcast about exactly, Ryan?
Well, there's another fun fact. Casey, thank you so much for asking. It's her idea. It was her idea. To start the podcast.
Jeez,
and so Grace's concept of the podcast I thought was just so funny, and it was good. Basically, you remember that article from 2015? It was from the New York Times that was like the 36 questions about an article.
Yeah, you stop an article.
Well, there was an article in a newspaper.
Ooh, la-di-da.
Okay. And that newspaper was the New York Times, and there was 36 questions that lead to love. If you ask these 36 questions in a conversation with another person, they will fall in love with you, is the idea.
Wow.
It's like
So
science fact.
what kinds of questions are we talking here?
Well, so we've done 4 of them now. And the concept of the pod is that we ask them to each other and see if it ruins our marriage. So
how honest are you guys being? Brutally honest?
Oh, we're being honest, but it hasn't. I'm being honest, and the show. No, she's being
some
honest.
one-sided honesty going on. That sounds healthy.
No, we're trying. We're probably a little bit more crude in real life than we are on this podcast. But the kinds of questions are things like, so far they've been really tame, but as it goes on through the 36, it gets like more and more deep, and it's like, tell me about your childhood and all this other kind of shit. But she found out. Recently she found out something she didn't know about me, is that I used to have an eye patch.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, when I was in
eye?
preschool. When I was in preschool, I had an eye patch.
For how long?
Which eye?
It was on this eye, because this one was lazy. This one would just go out and hang out. So I was a kid. I was like 4, and I just ran around with an eye patch for like a year, so my eye would straighten out.
And it
Did the other kids make fun of you?
Yeah, it did work, Casey. And no, kids don't make fun of each other at 4 years old.
That's true.
Kids are just like, wow, what's wrong with your eye? And you'd be like, I got a patch. And they'd be like, cool, you want to throw rocks? And you're like, yeah.
You want to throw rocks?
That's what we did.
St. Louis, right? That's where you're
Skipping
from.
rocks, yeah. St. Louis, baby.
Well, we're going to have a special guest, that is my wife, coming up shortly. Do you think that you could pull out any of these questions to ask us when she comes?
Sure,
up?
yeah. I'll pull up the article.
All right, we're about to see the first.
You got to do it rapid.
We're going to see the first live Zoom divorce. I'm just joking. I love her. She's looking at me right now. She's very eating the burger. How's the burger, honey? She said it's delicious. If you didn't hear.
Yeah, we did.
But anyway, this is the second week doing this. We had so much fun last week. Thank you to Littlefield for having us.
Yes, thank you, Littlefield.
And did we do a charity this week? The Dog Tales or whatever?
I'm not sure, but
okay.
They're still a great charity. It's a week since we did the Tales.
We have confirmation. We
did.
Yes, the same. The Portland Dogs need our help.
Portland, Maine, or Portland, Oregon?
Portland, Oregon. These dogs are in Portland, Oregon, and they need our help. one tail at a time, PDX. And,
you're sure it's Oregon and it's not Maine, right?
I am sure that it is Portland, Oregon. And also, it doesn't matter where the dogs are.
I'm not helping any Maine dogs, all right? That's none of my business.
I love an
dogs
Oregon dog. I
need
hate a
homes.
Maine dog.
An Oregon
They need
dog.
food. It doesn't matter where they live.
Those Maine dogs are lazy and they're sucking off the system. Right? And I'm
They're
sick
taking
of
all
it.
the dog jobs.
What's that?
I thought Will said something.
Oh,
Anyway,
I think
well,
we all froze.
no, you just didn't say anything.
Yeah, we just stared at you.
No, I said something, but we talked over each other. My bad.
Well,
What thing did you say?
Magic of Zoom.
I said they're taking all the dog jobs. That's why I don't support dogs and
Yeah.
Oh, now I see why you didn't repeat yourself.
What are your favorite dog jobs? They smell stuff. The bank.
They're all narcs.
The narcs. Wait.
That is true. Every dog is a friend and a narc.
The dog.
Wait, I got a question about dog jobs. The Dalmatian on the fire truck, which they don't do anymore. Did that dog ever do anything?
Yeah, they eat the fire, I believe. The Dalmatians they're known for. They're originally called fire eaters.
They eat fire.
They changed it for the movie because they thought that was too violent. So it could be
101 fire eaters.
Yeah, but they usually don't survive anyway. But here we go, folks. Why don't we get the show started? Huh? What do you think about that?
We'll kick this off. We have a great lineup.
We have a hot lineup. I love every single person on this lineup, but none more than our first guest. She is gift. She's a gift of a woman because she's hot and all the kids love her. She is a world-renowned comedian, actress, auteur, beautiful woman. She is my lovely bride. She is the one, the only Courtney Maginnis.
Yeah.
Hey, bitch.
What up?
Bitch.
Hi, Courtney.
What's up, bitch?
Hey guys, how are you? You look great. You look fantastic. I loved the whole entire intro, especially the part where Ryan was bringing up those questions that Casey and I have both gone through all of them together.
Wow.
Oh, wow. And he just acted like he didn't know it.
No, he just doesn't know it. The information doesn't really retain that.
Courtney, did you tell him that you were doing that? Or did you like trick him into falling in love with you?
Oh, well, please.
Yeah,
There's not enough time to go into how I tricked him into falling in love with me. And also, it's not appropriate. But when we first started dating, honey, we went through all those questions.
That doesn't sound like me.
There were 36 of them and he doesn't remember one.
Doesn't remember. It was like a whole night where we drank whiskey and we sat on my bed and we went through all the
Well, whiskey was involved. What the hell do you want? I love
my
you.
God.
What do you want from me? Jesus Christ.
There was no like flash in your eyes of even coming close to remembering
I
this.
don't listen. I keep the information I need and I get the rest out. It's like food. It's like I eat it and I
You need
diarrhea it
diarrhea.
out immediately. My body is working at 100% efficiency. Anything we need, we don't need. It's out. It's gone. You only have what we need.
Honey, I'm here to say you definitely do not work at 100% efficiency.
Oh my God. All right. My dick is another story.
Oh boy.
That's a 70%er. Tell him what your niece said to your grandma about me.
Oh, okay. So we're hopefully going to the beach with my family this summer, and my nieces are very excited. And they were social distancing with my grandmother. She's 80 years old, Irish Catholic woman, very
Terrifying.
sassy, terrifying. Casey, when we first started dating, tried to get in a family picture, and she goes, "Not you."
But I get it.
Yeah.
She's seeing a lot of boyfriends come through.
I have dated a lot of white rappers. It's fine. But so the nieces go over there and they're talking about the beach and they're so excited and their Uncle Casey's coming. And my niece Caitlin, she just turned 6 years old. She's very cute. She
Very
goes,
funny.
but Casey, sometimes he sleeps till 1 p.m. my 85-year-old grandmother goes, "Oh, well, you are just going to have to wake him up. He's got to enjoy the ocean." And she was like, "I'll wake him up. That can be my job."
And then there's more. This slanderous child trying to ruin my reputation.
First of all, they also call you Aunt Casey, which is a very funny thing.
Very fun.
They're hilarious. So, so then after she says the thing about Casey sleeping in, she knows that got a reaction. So she goes to my grandma. She just blurts out. She's like, "Aunt Casey uses too much toilet paper."
This kid has you pegged.
She does.
Yeah.
It's so funny. They pick up on the.
It's yeah, smallest thing. I'm sorry. I like to be clean and well rested. What the fuck? Called slandering. Anyway, several members of the family have me pegged. You know what I'm saying, honey? Come on.
How's his toilet paper use been in quarantine? Is it out of control?
Great question. Well,
Out of control.
See, I noticed we all have the same bidet. You guys took the bidet off the toilet. What was the reason behind that?
well, the reason behind that was your roommate, Micah Brucey, broke our toilet seat in half. So, he was dog sitting our beautiful dog Millie.
Hey, Millie.
And we came back and the toilet seat was broken in half.
In half.
And we brought it up to Mike, and apparently he didn't notice this somehow.
How in half? Like this?
So it's a circle, and then like one part of it was snapped.
So it was this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went and got another toilet
Not
seat.
that way.
No.
No. Like it would pinch your butt.
Yeah. So we got another toilet seat, but we put it in, and for some reason the screws, I missed putting something in. So anyway, the screws would pop off constantly, and you would just like fly off the toilet. It was very unstable.
Especially if you were drunk and you would come home and you would sit down to pee and then the things would pop out. I mean, it was a whole mess.
So anyway, so we got this, and I knew this happened all the time, and Mike Abruzzi was dog sitting again.
Mm-hmm.
So I was getting so much joy just imagining him sitting on the toilet seat and breaking it again. And freaking out.
Over and over.
When we came back, we asked him about it. I was like, "Hey, how's it sitting?" He's like, "Oh, it's great." I was like, "Anything weird happened?" He goes, "No, it's great." And I waited a minute.
That line second, Long Island
You
I was like, "Did you break the toilet seat again?" He goes, "Yeah, I did. I didn't want to tell you about it." And I was like, "It's fine. It happens all the time." He says, "Oh my God, thank God."
Oh my God. You set him up.
Set him up.
Set his bitch ass up.
Like Mr. Bean.
You know, sober people, we can't stand them. So, but we went to Home Depot with the masks, waited in line, the whole thing, and we got a new toilet seat, and the bidet is back on, and the toilet paper consumption is outrageous.
What are you doing back there, man? The
I'm
bidet
cleaning up. Right? I'm
cleaning
sorry.
up what?
Shit, what are you talking about?
The bidet does most of the work, bro.
No. That's where you're wrong. The bidet gets the base. The bidet gets the base layer. Then you do a little more.
How much is caking in there?
It's like a set. It's like a rock. It's like a geology book. You know, it's a sedimentary. It goes back generations and generations.
You're trying to get the Cretaceous out.
Yeah, I'm trying to clean out my large intestine.
Anyway, happy Friday, everybody.
Yikes.
Ask Courtney some questions, boys. What do you got to say to her?
But yeah, what do you got to say to me? I see.
How has everything been treating you with the quarantine? How's being with the big man?
It's been great. We've had a lot of fun. We've been watching a lot of movies. We've had a lot of revelations. We were watching like old Twilight Zone, and let me tell you something. A lot of pedophilia. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
People don't talk about it.
It's a huge plot point in a bunch of different episodes.
Yeah, it's
big time.
Now, is it treated as a bad thing?
No, it's treated like it's
whimsical.
It's a.
You know how little girls always have old man best friends?
Yeah. And they joke that they're their girlfriends, and then they take them back to their home planet to be their queen.
But Casey and I, we have been eating edibles, and neither of us handle that well.
We're not good weed people.
So then we're booze people. So we'll be sitting there silently, and then all of a sudden turn to each other and be like, "This is pedophilic, right?"
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
I'm doing a lot of spiraling.
A lot of spiraling. I still been doing virtual therapy, so that's been great. Fantastic.
What's that like?
Now, is that your therapist before, or is this a new virtual therapist?
Therapist before, but now
Okay.
I don't have to look him in the eyes, so I can be more honest.
What do you mean? Where do you look at him?
What the fuck is your problem? My husband's right here, you sick fuck.
You said I don't have to look at him in the eye.
Yeah, because it's on the phone.
She uses 2 phones.
Oh, you don't look at
Hello,
him.
Singapore, China. What's the deal?
Should we talk about
No,
my
I thought
childhood
that you turned his video off, or it's a picture of a dog or something.
Yeah, I weep to a picture of a dog every week for 45 minutes, which has been nice.
She does weep loudly. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Comforting.
Yeah. I have been watching a lot of gay stuff, a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race.
I've been noticing on our shared Amazon, it's always every season of RuPaul's Drag Race.
It's not shared. You stole her password.
Yeah. And you've been watching a lot of weird stuff. What was he watching today?
I don't remember.
Will's the kind of guy that probably watches those documentaries about porn, but it's not actually porn.
Yeah.
I like to see how the sausage is made, Daddy. I want to know what's going on.
Did you watch For Love of the Game on my wife's Amazon?
I missed baseball, man, and they've got good baseball in that movie.
For Love of the Game, it's so funny. My stepmom was watching that movie. I swear to God, every day for 7 days straight, she was watching For Love of the Game. And finally on the 7th day, I just go, "You really like this movie, huh?" She goes, "I'll watch whatever the fuck I want."
It's a bad movie, but stepmoms be loving Kevin Costner since time immemorial.
Yeah. They sure do. Anyway,
who doesn't love the cost?
Has this been the cost? Is that we haven't been timing this. How long do you think it's been, honey?
I don't know. Seems like 45 fucking minutes.
Oh shit!
Oh.
We got a little stallion on our hands. She's a firecracker.
Well, Courtney, good luck with the pedophilia and the virtual therapy. It was a pleasure to have you on the show. Please go to the other side of the room so we can just talk to Casey.
Make out. Really make out.
No, that's too much. All right, Courtney Maginnis, everybody.
Courtney Maginnis. Hey! Isn't she beautiful?
She's the best.
She's
truly the best.
She's
an angel.
Casey, where do you go when she does virtual therapy?
I go in the closet and I just think about stuff. No, I go in the other room and I play my wrestling video game. I got some hot storylines going right now, baby.
Wow, what's going on?
Great.
Anyway, how about you introduce our next guest, Ryan?
All right, our next guest is in the chat. Okay, folks, who is our next guest? I don't know who it is.
It's Chad Daniels.
Oh my gosh.
It's Chad Daniels. How are you, dude?
I'm here. Hello. Hi.
Sorry, that was probably the worst intro I've ever given anybody.
Well, and here's the thing. It's not the worst intro I've ever had.
What was that?
I got introduced one time at a Christmas party. The boss went up on stage and said, "Guys, we're going to have to wait till March for our bonuses, but we did get you a comedian."
Wow.
Yeah. That's absolute nightmare.
How did they like you after that?
Oh, they loved me so much, just staring at me like fuck, I'm their bonus. Like I'm Chevy Chase's fool he's missing out on, just furious.
Did you do an hour?
Yeah. Really hung in there.
Oh, that's great.
Jesus.
Is that the hardest hour you've ever had in your life?
I mean, probably not. I did a college tour of about 150 colleges one year when I was way too old to be in touch with college students. And it was a nightmare. In my rider, it said there can't be a bridge between the college and my hotel.
That's great. I saw you in that. So you made that movie with Tom Segura and Pete Lee, correct?
Yeah, it was called "I Need You to Kill."
That was great.
That?
Oh, thanks. Great.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a ton of fun. We went over to Hong Kong and Singapore and stuff like that, and did stand up, and it was a lot different. But it was really fun to hang out with those guys and make that.
It was so funny. You guys really bullied Pete hard, and I love.
I mean, he brought his wife, so it's like he kept saying, "How come you guys don't want to hang out?" And we were like, I don't know. Why don't you go in the other room and play your wrestling game?
Are you talking to me or Pete?
No, I'm talking about you, but yeah. Because I've been watching this whole show, and it was almost like when my kids were little, we had baby monitors, and we would pick up the conversation from one of our neighbors. Oh, really? And it was awesome because I was muted and didn't have my video on, but I could see. So it was almost like I was picking up a private Zoom conversation on my internet, and I was just like, "Ooh, this is getting naughty."
How spicy did it get? Would you hear fights and stuff, or?
Well, my favorite thing to do was when my neighbor was outside, I would go like piss him off, but he was so nice to me. I'd like rake my leaves into his yard, and then I'd run in the house and until he went in to hear him go, "Fucking guys raking leaves in my house." And I'd call my wife over when I was married, and I'd be like, "You got to get in here. This is going to be awesome."
Oh my God. That's terrorism, Chad.
Yeah, it is.
There's nothing funnier than Midwestern men short-circuiting.
Yeah.
Just to like losing their fucking mind. It's just like, that's why it's great. Like Little League is great. Like, you know, anything that has to do with the school sports, it's great.
Yeah, one of my favorite things is when you honk at somebody and really give them the business out of your car and then follow them to the grocery store and get out of your cars at the same time. You have to watch them panic at all the stuff they had thought but refuse to say because someone from church might hear them. It's great.
Oh my God.
And then it's just sorry. Yeah, let me get by you.
Oh, well, you got a large horn on your car there.
Are you a road rage guy? Or do you get angry out there on the roads?
I can be. I think I'm a stupid person rage guy, and that does carry over to driving.
Yeah.
So you get mad at stupid people?
I do. It's like I mean, I don't know. I was passing a trucker driving from Minneapolis. I live 3 hours northwest of Minneapolis, and I was driving down, and he got mad that I was passing him. And he veered over and kept honking his horn and kept coming into my lane. And I got pretty mad at that. That seemed pretty stupid to me.
That's insane.
I don't know why people get mad about you passing. It's just part of the road.
Well, I can turn the crazy up just a little bit because once I did pass him, I did the whole like state trooper slow traffic move where I was going back and forth.
And you did the pace car.
And then I was doing that like, "Pull over, you motherfucker." I was ready to hey, I don't know what a truck driver can do. Let's see.
Oh my God.
Playing with fire.
You're a bit of a psychopath, Chad.
I've always wanted my obituary, to mention something about conceal and carry. So if I can get sniped by a truck driver who just has a machine gun, that's awesome.
That's hilarious. You know, what I want for my obituary, when people put those things in the paper when someone turns 40 and it's like a baby picture, says like, "Lordy, Lordy, look who's 40." I want to be a baby picture, just say, "Lordy, Lordy, look who's dead." That's so big. Are you a fighter, Chad?
No, I haven't. I mean, younger maybe, but I haven't thrown a punch in, 13 years maybe.
That's a pretty exact number.
I was trying to do the math because I remember my son was 7 years old, so I was trying to do the math, and he's 20 now, so about 13.
Did you punch your son when he was 7 years old?
No, I punched someone else, and he saw it, and I felt horrible. So,
oh my God!
So that was that. No more of that.
All right. Good call.
Oh wow! Shut down the conversation, boys.
I want to ask who you punched, but I don't know if it's a personal story.
Yeah, I don't know that this is just a male rage.
Yeah, people are watching right now. We're just watching the participants go down.
Yeah.
How's quarantine been affecting you? Because you're a big time traveling comic. So what have you been doing with this time?
Just trying to get projects done, trying to kind of focus. I mean, my kids also. My son's job shut down. my daughter's school, she has to. I'm trying to stay positive and make sure everybody doesn't lose their minds.
Yeah. Are you being productive? I'm finding that I'm like every other day I can do something. Otherwise, I'm totally lost. And it's not even that I'm that upset. I'm just like, what am I going to do?
This is the first show businessy thing I've done since everything shut down, because I mean, like if I don't have to plan to go somewhere to do comedy, I don't really want to think about it. I don't know. So I'm just doing stuff around here, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My manager calls and she's like, "Hey, you want to talk on Monday?" And I'm like, "Why?" Did you find the vaccine? Otherwise, no.
Oh
Are your like managers and agents pressuring you to take gigs as soon as possible because they want to make money too?
No, thank goodness. But I think they kind of know that I'm just going to wait until everything calms down and just kind of see where it goes.
Yeah. Are you quarantining alone or with family members?
Well, yeah, I have my kids. So my daughter's 16, my son is 20, and then we're just kind of back and forth. We have a little tiny lake cabin, and then a house about 40 minutes away from that. So we go back and forth. If it's nice out, we go to the cabin because no one's out there yet. So it's nice, and we don't have to worry about anything, and just kind of goof around. There's no internet or anything, so we just play games, and that's about it.
That sounds beautiful. Are you enjoying this time away from comedy to get a little break, or are you
Well, let me preface this by saying I know some people are having a hard time during this quarantine. However, I really think I was built for it. I'm a lazy piece of shit and I love it.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
That's where we're at.
I love it.
It feels bad to say that.
I keep on thinking I'm going to get sick of watching great movies and eating edibles at night, but I don't. It's awesome. It's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, I was working, 3 weekends a month. Maybe sometimes it was 3 different cities during that weekend. I'd go somewhere Thursday, somewhere Friday, somewhere Saturday, and then come home and do my laundry, have my daughter for 3 days. She was at school some of the time. So this is really nice to be able to do my laundry when I want, hang out. There have been house projects forever and ever that I've wanted to get done, and finally doing that stuff. So
it's
man, this laundry thing is killing me because I'm in Brooklyn and all the laundromats have shut down. So I'm just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. We're hitting critical mass over here.
Do it in the tub, bro.
Yeah, do the tub.
I got this little spinny, like it is electric. My wife is on this free Facebook group, like everything's free, which is it's all the lesbians in Brooklyn. It's a lesbian only thing that she's on. And they just give it, it's called like the Buy Nothing group. And it's only lesbians. I can't stress that enough. You go to their house, they come to your house.
Got it.
And they bring you stuff or you bring them stuff. And nobody buys everything. It's all barter system. So we got this like washing machine thing that is, I don't even know. It's just this tiny thing. It's a tiny thing. You hook it up to the tub and fill it with water, and then you have to drain it. And it kind of ruined my underwear. Everything's very stiff. It didn't dry properly, and so everything hurts when I put it on. But I don't know. I think I'm just gonna buy underwear.
Do you think you could put your pants on and your shirt on, tuck your shirt in, and then sleep standing up?
I could do that. Yeah.
That'd be a pretty great. That'd be the new challenge, the stand-up challenge.
The horse challenge.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, man. Well, this is great. I've been doing comedy nearly as long as you, and I found like the past few months I've been very burnt out. So like this break has been beautiful. Did you find yourself getting like burnt out and you finally get a chance to take a break?
A little bit, yeah. So May 4th was 22 years for me since my first open mic.
That's cool.
Wow.
So yeah, it was it was nice. I mean, I had a bunch of stuff lined up, and it sucks that people have to figure out what to do with their tickets, and clubs are getting jammed up, and servers aren't getting paid and stuff like that. So hopefully when this is done, everybody will be recharged. We can get out there, get some yucks going again, and have some fun.
Hell yeah.
Well, hell yeah,
totally, man.
It's been great talking with you, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Chad.
I'm a big fan.
God bless you, Chad.
I appreciate you having me on. Thank you very much.
Thanks for doing it.
Take it easy.
Chad Daniels, everybody.
What a guy.
All right.
It's special. I watched it on
I feel very
Amazon.
reassured right now. That was great. I feel like I got a dad in that Zoom chat right there. I feel positive. I feel good.
Will, you're using Courtney's Amazon, but I watched Chad's special on Amazon. It's fantastic. You should use her account to do that.
I will do that. I like Chad is one of my favorite comics. He's a fantastic stand-up comedian.
I'm mortified that I gave him such a shitty intro, and he's probably still listening to this.
It's okay. There's no.
Will, you want to bring in our next?
Yeah. This next comic coming on is one of my very dear friends. You've seen her on The New Negroes and Two Dope Queens. She's so hilarious. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Shalewa Sharpe!
Oh my gosh.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Shalewa!
Shalewa!
Y'all crunk as hell, ain't you?
No, we're not crunk. We're excited.
Grapefruit seltzer up here.
Where's the fire? Why are y'all having so much fun?
We're excited to see you. We miss you, Shalewa.
Oh, it's nice to see all of you.
Wow.
How are you doing?
That could have sounded more sarcastic, Shalewa.
Look, it's a thing. It's built into my throat. I can't help it. I always sound sarcastic, but
Shalewa, I feel like this is your like preferred distance to communicate with people.
Absolutely. This is fantastic. I love this so much.
You remember right before quarantine, we were at that whatever show that was, and I said to you, like, you told me that no one will hug you, everyone chickens out. And if we watched 3 people in a row. Will, you're a special case, but there's like 3 people in a row that like went up and they were like, "Hey," and then just kind of like bopped off, and it happens every single time.
That's my vibe. It's my witchy vibe, which is like, do not touch me. Don't touch me.
I find you to be one of the best huggers in comedy.
I actually am. That's what you hate. What you hate is, or I guess what the gag is, I'm not sure, is that I actually give really good hugs, and I'm a tactile person. So I actually like getting and receiving hugs. I just don't know you. You know what I mean? Like, I got to know you in order to do it.
Yeah.
Quick follow-up question. What is the tactile word you use?
Means you like to touch.
Touch. Oh, hell yeah. I'm very tactile.
I specifically remember a touch that you've given me underneath my rib cage, and I was just like, damn, Shalewa gives some good ass hugs. It was right here. And it made me feel known and loved. And God bless you.
I'll find spots. There are some spots that you don't realize no one touches you at. That's one here. No one touches you here.
Yeah.
Never.
Unless you're in trouble, like a little kid.
Right. And then it's like a grab thing, but then that can lead to who knows what it can lead to. I don't want to I don't want to presume. I'm not trying to kink shame.
Well,
maybe you thought your principal was cute. I don't know.
Sure.
Shalewa has a special gift. Now, we had her on her podcast, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And you have a gift that spawned a whole new portal of our podcast where you can guess what somebody's penis is like just by their general vibe.
Okay, hold on. Let me. I have a theory that based on just kind of how you talk, and it was based on comedy, the type of jokes that you tell. I had an idea as to what your dick was like. And I didn't really get to test it until they did one of those naked shows at the Creek in the Cave.
Oh,
and I got to see, I went to the first one. It's the only one I went to. And I went in, I looked at everyone's dick, and I went, yep, that's right. That's absolutely right.
Wow.
For all of them. It was absolutely right.
No shockers.
Well, you've guessed Will and I's before. We don't need to go back over.
Did you see mine?
I saw Will's was one of the ones where I was like, that's precisely right. That's exactly what his dick should look like based on
Whenever anybody at work asks me what kind of dick do you have, and I'll be like, I'll be on stage tomorrow night. You can see
you come and see.
My dick is like my comedy. My comedy is like my dick.
Yeah.
Girthy.
Girthy and underrated.
Underrated.
Underrated dad.
Underrated.
Yeah.
The hood favorite.
That's beautiful. Now, you guessed mine pretty correctly. We don't need to talk about it. Why don't we move on to Ryan?
No, but what did she say about it?
Oh, what did I say? Did I say it wants to be more? Or did I say that about Patrick?
I said that about Pat.
I think that was about Pat.
You said mine was long, but a little on the thin side. And I'm
Oh,
not
I did.
saying if you're right or
Wow,
wrong.
yeah, you really remembered that. Okay.
Yeah, no, it really caused. You don't know that I've spent multiple nights measuring the girth of my penis because you said that.
I'm
The
so
girth.
You can
sorry.
text at 3 a.m.
Yeah, I used my roommate's floss to wrap it around, and then
Oh,
I
the old
measured it
floss
against
trick.
my phone. I did hours of research because you got in my head.
I'm so
Floss.
sorry.
Floss is
Anyway.
the sharpest thing you like stringy.
No,
Yeah, no,
what
that's
floss
right.
are you using?
Floss
it
is
was
not.
my roommate's. I
Floss,
moved
a
out.
floss is like it's
He
like
was with
piano
Courtney
wire.
at the
You just
time
cut that
too.
thing
If
off.
Courtney has like measuring tape for fashion, that would be very great for measuring your penis. It's
Well,
probably the
I
ideal thing.
also use that sense, and I found I am average, so pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey,
But above,
Yeah.
above average length, folks. Anyway, do Ryan.
Do Ryan?
Oh, I'm on the hot seat.
Okay,
you just
let's
discredited her abilities.
No, I said she's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So with Ryan, there's a quiet cockiness
Ooh.
that he's putting out. He plays real. He plays a little nebbish, but
Yep.
it's a little bit bullshit. He's a lot cockier than that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
True.
Yeah.
I feel like, oh, let's see. Do you have moves? I don't know if I've seen you dance, but I feel like you're confident in your hip action. Oh yeah, we'll talk about y'all dancing too. I feel like you're probably a little overconfident, and that's probably why you love your wife so much, because she probably corrects whatever is happening there.
Yeah.
But it's certainly like, I'm gonna say it's average. It's average. It's more in what you're doing with it, probably, right?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much right. I have the same attitude towards it, where it's like it's average. So I would say you nailed it.
I love how Shalewa takes you down a journey. Like she talks about your past, your relationships, and then ends at the dick. Normally people would start at the dick and then go outward. She does deduction.
No.
She's like Sherlock Holmes of penis. She's just like, well, this and
honestly,
this and this.
it's because like it really is that porn store training. It's from watching dudes for years and years come in and their attitude, and then seeing what movies they're actually getting, and then how they actually interact with you. Because they're having to interact with a real live woman. It taught me so much in a way that maybe has fucked up my relationships with people, but I learned a lot.
What are the telltale characteristics of a guy with bad dick?
This is what I wanted.
I'm not saying small necessarily, but I'm saying like his dick is just not good.
Well, I mean, it's hard to say, because you can have a large dick and not know what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And that
Banging it on doors and stuff.
you know what I mean?
Just bouncing around.
Just getting it caught in the sink. But but they still will carry themselves like they're the shit. But if you watch, you'll see that they don't really know how to. They're just like, well, I'm the shit. I've got a big dick. And it's like, yeah, but your outfit is ridiculous. And you don't know how to present yourself because you think that the dick is going to do all the work. So there's just like this kind of like, but I'm like, no, you don't know what you're doing with your dick. Big or small, you don't quite know what you're going. And then there are people who are just kind of like, oh, shucks. And you got to be careful of the aw shucks. Because the aw shucks could also be like a rope-a-dope thing where you're like, oh, maybe he's going to surprise me with something. And he's not. He actually was aw shucks. It was always the aw shucks came from within or whatever.
The
I don't know.
Coming from inside the pants.
You just gotta watch. Yeah, you just have to watch people intently, which is why I'm always quiet in green rooms.
Yeah. Is there a certain type of pornography that you could equate with dick size or quality? Like you said you could judge off what movies people were getting.
Well, it's a combination of the movies that they're getting, plus how they interact with you.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, you know, people would come into the store and they would start with a thing, and then, you know, now it's a matter of just like, as when you're online, other options are coming up and you're just kind of clicking them. But we're watching people, we would watch people make those decisions in real time. So like, they already went through all the new releases, so now they're going to try, I don't know, let's see the Schoolgirls, or maybe I'll try this bisexual one, or maybe let me just go on and get one of these gay dudes and see what they're up to. And the next thing you know, it's just all hot dog movies. It's just, as long as, I don't care, whatever you got, that's new. So, you know, you kind of watch people make that or rule things out, like, you know what, not gangbangs are not for me, or not this lady, or certainly that guy talks too much, or whatever. So it's just like a matter of that, watching people kind of pick and choose that way. But then just how they approach you overconfidently, you know, like, yeah, you know, you want some of this, and it's like, you are getting the most weak ass stuff here, you know. Like, if you're getting, I mean, like, don't be a tough guy and then come up with like Wicked movies or something, you know what I mean? If you're getting anything with a plot or bed sheets, like, you're not, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have two questions.
Yeah.
I have two questions about this store. Did they sell candy?
The candy was lube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because at Blockbuster, you know, or Hollywood Video or whatever, they always sell candy because they're like, have some candy with your movie.
It was the size of a Blockbuster, but instead of popcorn and candy, it was like lube and cock rings.
Okay.
And pop.
So my next question is, did they ever play movies in the store?
When I was there, not as much, because we didn't want to rile them up. Because we were a 24-hour store. We're a 24-hour store. I wanted to be able to walk to my car without like being misladied to death or whatever. But occasionally we would, if it was something that we could all agree on. Because, you know, we had like, at the time, 3 to 4 people working on a shift. So if there was something new and we're like, all right, let's see.
What a busy store.
Yeah, it was 24 hours. It was very busy. Yeah, you didn't have porn in your pocket. So you had to go, and we didn't have viewing booths, so you had to like rent them and take them away. So it was very quiet in there. It was like a library. I like to say that the porn store was like a library, whereas the strip club was like church. You know, because the porn store was like very studious, you know, people with notepads and shit, and there was a lot more of a at like you're praying really when you're at the strip club. There's an altar and offering and all that kind of shit, you know.
Body of Christ.
Yeah, in a way.
So we got to wrap it up here. I want you to tell us though, because you've spoken on this before, who amongst us is the best dancer, maybe the best white male comic dancer in New York?
Okay, all right. So this is tough because I know
it's not tough.
It's Will.
It's not Will, Ryan.
You know what it is. You know what it is.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's why it's tough, because Will gets it, right? He gets it in.
That's
here.
a walk-off.
He gets it in here. But here's the thing. Casey's like the dark horse. You don't realize he gets. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I watched Casey sing a Luther Vandross song at karaoke. Didn't look at the words once.
Not once.
Not once. So it's like he's a dark horse. He's coming in. He's singing all this fucking Kansas and Boston and any other band that's comes from a state or whatever. Like, yeah, he's talking. Yeah, he's singing Bread or America. Or whatever. But that's not where his heart lies. Mm-hmm. His heart, for some reason, lies in the Quiet Storm. So
was it never too much?
Yes.
Okay, well that's not that impressive. Everybody knows that.
Don't get your feelings hurt.
My feelings aren't hurt. I'm trying to be objective here. I'm trying to be objective here. And Shalewa's compliment to you was, people think he's dumb, but then he doesn't look that bad.
Nobody said dumb. Not one person said dumb.
No, I think it's a surprise. It's just an innate, both of them have the innate ability to come in on the 2 and the 4, and that's really all that counts. Like every time they hear something, they come in on a 2 and a 4. And at no time have I seen any of them do like an overbite.
What's an over? What do you mean overbite?
The overbite, the white man overbite, where you're like,
Oh,
Right here.
all right.
yeah, this one, he's gonna know. Yeah, right.
And that's how I dance. I do this, and then I come in on the
It's
Fibonacci
I
sequence.
know. I think that's how you walk down the street, Ryan, is with that. Just straight up staying alive on the 1 and the 3. It's
Well, Shalewa, this has been beautiful. You're my favorite person. In the whole
You're the
world.
best.
guys.
We love you deeply.
I wish I could hug you all.
I can't wait till we hug again.
Soon enough.
Thank you so much for coming on. Have a good night.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Casey, I wasn't trying to call you dumb. I wanted to use a different word, but then I realized it's offensive.
Yeah, well, you did it. No one said dumb before you, but
No, she said you look like you don't get it. And you get it.
Don't get dancing, not like math.
She really did. You got the
All right.
better compliment there, but I mean, I'm taking the fact that I am, for all intents and purposes, the one who gets it, and you're the dark horse.
Hey, listen, I just want us all to feel good. I don't think it's a competition.
Oh, listen, all I took away from that was that I've got an average dick.
We all got something.
All right, let's bring on our
Daddy.
last comedian.
Will, introduce our last comedian.
Your next comedian is very hilarious. You've seen him all over the place. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Brooks Wheelan!
Well,
Where is he?
right.
I tried it. It says the host didn't let me.
Oh, there you are. We see
You're
you.
in, baby.
Hey, check it out. I'm in
What
what I
up?
perceive to be the coolest, the room that makes me look the coolest in my apartment.
Yeah, you got a plant.
Yeah, I got to put all the nice things behind. I got to put books behind me so everybody knows I'm a smart guy. And this is how you do comedy in the quarantine. Look at me. I read.
What do you got there?
Yeah.
You got
I got a
something
Game of Thrones
Abbey?
book, which is a fucking nightmare, and then an Edward Abbey book, which is a misogynist. So really crushing the white dude reading game.
We're proud of you.
Also,
bro.
I just realized, Will, you said intents and purposes. I thought it was, and I'm wrong. I thought it was intensive purposes, for all intensive purposes. And I was always like, what does that mean? Like in very intense purpose? Like, so I learned a little bit during this. This is great.
I
Well,
used
that's
to
what I'm
think
here
that
to do.
too.
Yeah, intents and purposes, boys.
thought it
I'm
was
here to teach the people.
Very intense purposes.
We're here to learn. Now,
Yeah.
Brooks, you came in from LeBron right before this. You seem to be getting athletics. You recently ran a marathon that nobody thought you could do, but you crushed it and you killed it, and we're very proud of you. Tell us about this experience.
Well, also, like, you guys are all in New York. It's like you wanted me to come in at 3. It's 91 outside, and it's like you got to check in at 3:30. I'm like, what the fuck? Very different times.
Yeah.
So I came in hot. But yeah, you guys know Nick Turner, New York City's own Nick Turner.
Yeah.
He bet me $500. I couldn't run a marathon, and there's nothing that will make me run a marathon more than taking money from my broke friend. So it was just like, think about Nick's money, and it was so easy to do.
Brooks, did you run at all before that? Like, were you running a mile or something like at all?
Yeah, well, I've run like 3 miles once a week for the last 12 years, so I felt like I could do it, and it turns out that's all it takes.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I feel like when people train for marathons, they like slowly ramp it up, but you just kind of did like you let it simmer the whole time.
Yeah. I don't respect what I did. I just disrespect marathons. Anybody who's they're not hard. They're absolutely not hard.
Wow. A lot of cockiness.
Yeah, like Bert Kreischer ran his, and he's like, I ran a marathon. I ran it like an hour and a half quicker than him, and I ran it slow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you could walk what he did.
Did you have any lingering injuries? Did you have any diarrhea out there on those runs?
No, I cannot explain the lack of poor things that happen if you run a marathon. Like we did use Bert as he ran one, and he's a fatso, so I should have to run it. Yeah, I should have to run it an hour quicker than him, and it was not hard. And then I drank that night, and I ran two. Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust marathons. They're very. I'm just glad I didn't run like a real marathon, like where a bunch of nerds get up early and you have to find parking. That's a nightmare. Like that's what kept me from running marathons, is that early morning parking. But midday from my apartment marathon, very fun.
Now, what is like, you think they're easy, but what if this just means that you're like a super athlete who never tapped into his body?
That's
what
actually
if you're Bruce Willis?
No, that like honestly, I was like, what if I'm not like, it made me honestly believe like I've wasted a potential.
What if you fucked up and you're like the fucking next Usain Bolt, but you just never found out?
Because like the fastest marathon, like a real good marathon is under 3 hours and 30 minutes. And I ran mine in 4 hours and 15. And like, if you run sub 3, then that's like, that's good. But anything before that is like, our moms could do. Oprah ran it in 4.5 hours. So like, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And she's great, so.
It just really shone a light on the marathon and the unless you're running to tell like Sparta that that the fucking Turks are coming, who cares?
Nice, dude.
Or whatever that war was. I don't know.
So your takeaway is that people who run marathons are pussies and need to shut up about it, basically.
They shouldn't brag. They're not pussies. They just shouldn't brag about it unless they're running under 3 hours, in which case, holy shit, like that's a crazy move.
That's great. So are you going to run a marathon again? Try to break your record? Has this become an obsession now?
No. I'm done. It was unless Turner tries to go double or nothing.
Well, he just won all that. He won a car on Price is Right, correct? So now he's got
and the best part is he took too long to get it.
No.
And now quarantine happened, so all the car dealerships are shut up, and he can't get it. So he just has,
no.
It's a real treat to watch him be mad about winning a car.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
that's incredible.
He was trying to sell a credit. He had a credit for a car dealership for like $24,000. And he was trying to sell that for 20, and nobody wants to buy a car credit. It's weird. Like, well, who do we know that like wants a credit for a car dealership? It's fucking weird.
Wait, that's how they do it? They give you a credit? They don't actually give you a car?
Yeah, they give you the credit for how much you want. It was for Galpin Motors, and that's a big giant car dealership. So Turner was just like openly like yelling like, I'll give you $24,000 for $20,000, but you have to buy a car. He had like
trying to run a McDonald's scam.
He had a gift card for a car dealership. He was trying to hawk, and he doesn't know anybody who wants to give him 20 grand. So it ended up biting him in the ass, and it was so fun to watch.
Wow.
Poor man.
Yeah, it is great. I've never seen somebody win a car and then have it go wrong. It was beautiful.
Holy
That's
shit.
incredible.
That's great. How's the rest of your quarantine been going? What you've been seeing friends? You're in LA. I don't know what the experience is like out there.
Have you been seeing friends?
Yeah, I've been seeing friends. I went. I already didn't like New York when I lived there, and then now that this has happened, it's like doubled my delight. I'm not there.
Yeah, you hated it. I remember.
Yeah, I was a real negative Nancy. But it's because I lived here first. I really did enjoy. I don't like Los Angeles, but I like California. I think it's like a good state. I think the city sucks, but I like what's around it. Versus I like New York City, but I hate being like, I don't know. If New York City was in LA, it'd be perfect, but it's not. And that's not how the world works. But the quarantine has been fine. At first I left and I went to go try to camp in Utah for all of it. And that lasted like a week before I was like, I'd like to shower again.
Yeah.
And so then I came back, and now it's been me and my girlfriend getting along like look, we should get married for 4 days and then fully breaking up every 5th day.
Yeah.
Now, is there a common theme to the fights, or is it new shit every week?
No, it's just like, get away from me. It's it's like, I can't look at you right now.
Yeah, it's a mix of like bliss and like, this is beautiful. And then you can just tell like, we're mad about something and there's no one else around to take it.
Yeah, it's really, we really come together for that Jordan doc on Sundays.
Yeah,
and
us
like,
too.
Yes.
Neither of us watch basketball, but we look forward to it every week.
Well, yeah, I don't even like basketball.
No.
But like, I grew up in Iowa. I love Michael Jordan. Like, I like BJ Armstrong is who I actually like. And he's in it a little bit because he's from Iowa. And it's like on Saturday, we're like, okay, Jordan's tomorrow. And then on Sunday we watch it and we love it. And it's great. And then on Monday we talk about it. On Tuesday we talk about it. And then by Wednesday it's like, get away from me. And then we spend like a day apart, and then we come back together to be like, okay, Jordan's coming up again. So once it's done,
last time I was in LA, I actually hung out with you a little bit, and
yeah, it was fun.
It was so much fun. One night I had nothing to do, and I went to this bar by myself, and they were playing the NBA Finals, the Cavs versus the Warriors.
Warriors, yeah.
And I was watching it, and I was like getting into it. I was texting Will, who's a big Cavs fan, and nobody was really responding to me. I didn't get it. Nobody in the bar was that excited, and I was like cheering.
What bar was this?
It was near Chase Mitchell's house. I don't remember the name of it, but like,
it wasn't Public House, because Public House is where we would go to watch it back in the day, and everybody's very into it there.
Here's what happened: is I was cheering the whole time. I was getting so pumped. I was texting all my friends, and then finally somebody responded, being like, "What are you talking about?" And that's when I realized it was a replay from the year before.
Oh wow!
and I'd been in this bar for over an hour, like losing my mind, getting fucking hyped.
That's wonderful. That's really great. I was at the Improv like last year. I don't know, but sometime when the fucking Yankees were in like the divisional playoffs or whatever, and some guy was like a new comic or so. I don't know who it was, but he was going real nuts because the Yankees had just hit a home run, and I knew the Yankees were up 1-0, but I wasn't sure. But I knew they at least won one game, and I was like, "Oh, cool! You like the Yankees?" He's like, "I love them," and I was like, "What's the like the series at?" And he's like, "This is the first game," and I was like, "No, it's not. Like, I don't like baseball, but I know it's not." Like, it is. I'm a diehard Yankees fan. I was like, "You gotta leave, man! Like,
you gotta leave.
You really embarrassed yourself." Because this is the second game, and everyone knows that. You're just when somebody's like, so I think maybe it's similar to what you were doing, where you were just like, I'm bored, but I want to like show excitement, and like maybe that'll draw someone talking to me.
Yeah,
And it just pushed people away.
Yeah. It's just lonely.
Yeah, he was just lonely. He was literally just lonely. And I was like, yeah, let's talk about it. And then he was so wrong. I was like, man, I can't help you. That's what you did. Go. You were that man. You were that man at that bar.
I was that man, but nobody talked to me, and I just left in shame.
Oh, that's incredible. Okay, quick question for you guys. Because it's just kind of a similar experience where we all agreed. What was like the best movie going experience you had in the last year?
Movies?
Like movie going experience. I had like a wonderful movie going experience, but it wasn't like because we liked the movie. It's because we all agreed this movie was bad and the theater turned on it.
What movie?
It was this movie Yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the Beatles movie.
Yeah. Everyone started booing it, and it was great.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
How far into it?
When John Lennon showed up.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it.
Well, heads up.
So he showed up on
Lennon's
screen?
alive. Okay, but go on. What were you guys? What any fun movie things?
My wife and I went to see Sonic the Hedgehog, and we always go to Alamo Draft House because we like the food and we like that experience, right?
It's
and they
fun,
also tell everybody to shut up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we went to the Alamo Draft House because we wanted to go to the Alamo Draft House, and we're like, what's playing? And we're not going to see Emma. So we're going to go, okay, let's go to, we went into Sonic the Hedgehog. We didn't really know what to expect. She's never seen a video game in her life. So
Was she,
we
was
went
she
in
from
and
space?
no, I mean she just doesn't play them.
Sure. Okay, I get that. She's brand new to the idea of video games.
Yeah. She just came in from Russia.
Yeah.
No, but we went in and it was like truly one of the best movies that I've seen in a long time.
I've heard that Jim Carrey is fucking unbelievable.
It's so good, Brooks. My God, I was like, we were both hyped up. We were like really into it. We were like, this is incredible. We're eating these chicken sandwiches. It was a great experience. And we talked about it for weeks after.
That's wonderful. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's like, It's never just like, oh man,
totally surprised.
Fucking Black Panther. No, Black Panther was what you wanted it to be, but it's the Sonic the Hedgehogs, it's the Yesterdays, it's these fucking.
Yeah. I can't think of a movie I saw within the last year. I'll just tell a story. I remember I was living with my dad before I moved to New York, and I would just get high and go to the movies by myself all the time. And I went to see Manchester by the Sea.
Oof.
And
what the fuck,
it was
man?
me and one other dude in the theater, and we were about like 4 rows apart.
Yeah.
So the whole time we're both just like silently weeping, trying not to get the other guy.
Yeah, you get it. Like I used to have a joke when those movies, Manchester by the Sea and Moonlight came out, and people were like, Moonlight's better. And I was like, look, I like Manchester by the Sea because I never can put myself in the position of being an African-American homosexual in Miami.
Yeah.
But Manchester by the Sea, I can definitely put myself in a position where I burn my family down on accident. Like, I can relate to that movie. It's not that one's better. I just see that happening for me.
I could 100% do that and be like, what? I could do it twice. I'd be like, again?
I was getting beer and I burned down my family.
I gotta stop putting fireplaces in the new house.
Yeah, but I don't know what it's like to deal with any sort of feelings or adversity. I just know how I could burn my family down.
Yeah.
Will.
I think like the last really strong experience I had at theater was when we went a year ago to Endgame.
Oh yeah,
Avengers Endgame. I don't really fuck with the Marvel movies like that. I don't know anything about them really. I've seen a couple here and there, but I'm not like a devout fan by any means.
Right.
Yeah. And we ate a little bit of a weed brownie before the movie started. But by the end, the final battle scene, Casey looked over at me and I was full on like weeping from both eyes because it was just such beautiful movie making. And when Iron Man dies, I was full on crying, and I could have given a shit about him 2 hours before. It was crazy.
Right. That's great.
And
that score, baby.
I saw Infinity War not knowing it. That I thought that they were like, this is it. This is the end of Marvel. I didn't know there was another one. And with like 2.5 hours in, I was like, they're gonna have to wrap this fucking up. And then my friend was like, no, there's another one. And I was like, I'm done. I'll never see that. And I haven't.
Brooks, this has been so much fun. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you, Brooks.
Thanks for giving me a reason to have a Friday, guys. I really appreciate it.
You got
God
it.
bless you, Brooks.
Yeah, let's watch old basketball next time we're all together. See you. Bye. Thank you.
I love it. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Brooks Wheelan, everybody.
Yeah.
That's it for the Big Weird. That was wonderful. Casey, I'm sorry I used the word dumb. You know, I think you're very smart and intelligent and emotionally, more so than anything, emotionally astute.
I agree with that. Thank you, Ryan. I think you're beautiful and you have great hair and you're a good friend.
Thank you. It's very long right now. This is gross.
Well,
anyway, we had a fantastic lineup tonight.
We'll be back next Friday.
We're on next Friday, 7 o'clock on the East Coast. And that was Chad Daniels, Courtney Maginnis, Brooks Wheelan, Shalewa Sharpe. Follow Littlefield on Twitter. I'm at I Am Ryan Beck. Check out my podcast with my beautiful wife who's cooking dinner in the other room. Falling in Love with My Wife pod. Everywhere you get podcasts, you boys.
I'm Casey James Salengo. You can follow me at Casey J Salengo everywhere. My album Wild Country Phoenix is available everywhere. Will and I have a pod with our buddy Pat called The Good, the Dad, and the Ugly, and give it a listen. Thanks for coming out.
I'm Will Winner. You can find me at will.the.winner on Instagram and Winner Will on Twitter. God bless you. Have a great week. Stay safe. We love you all.
Bye.
Bye.